Donald Trump's little wink and a nod to QAnon at the last town hall probably didn't go unseen by them. And it's a part, by the way, of the mainstreaming of a theory that believes that almost every Democrat is both a Satanist and a pedophile, which seems pretty crazy. But I guess a lot of people have started to believe it because we have this new poll about what sort of people believe that QAnon is either partially or totally true. And it is something, man. So we're gonna bring this graphic up. And especially if you're on mobile, you're not gonna be able to make out the numbers, but I've got it, don't worry. I just want you to know that this is real. This is directly from the poll that we have. This is from the Yahoo News presidential election poll from just yesterday. And so let's take a look at a couple of the interesting things that leap out to me. If you see something, Quay, feel free.
Okay.
What's interesting is people who believe that it's an extremist conspiracy theory with no basis in fact, there's actually kind of a big gender gap there, with 12% more women saying it has no basis in fact, which I just want to touch, I want to stop there for a second because the way I've heard people talk about QAnon and the fact that it's combined with this overall concern for children, I think has implied that women are more likely to support it, to believe that it's true. But so far from this poll, that doesn't seem to be the case, that women are actually a little bit less likely to believe it, men a little bit more likely.
Do you think, what I would want to know, just as my research brain kicking in, is, what's the breakdown of male to female who tend to believe in kind of conspiracies anyway? I don't know this, but I would guess that it's probably men believe conspiracies more often than women. That's based on nothing except just kind of anecdotal evidence. So I wonder if this is just reflective of that, that it's not necessarily that, this male female thing in terms of protecting children. It's just that men tend to believe conspiracy theories more so than women do. And it's not about that anyway. I mean, like it's that's the cover, right? Is that it's just about
curious.
This. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because if you're right, and I would say anecdotally in my life, guys tend to be a little bit more interested in conspiracies. If guys are overwhelmingly more likely to believe most conspiracy theories than women, the fact that there's something like parity in this one actually would be an interesting finding. But I can't say for sure. I would say that there is a big, there's a racial gap. 56% of white respondents believe that it has no basis in fact. 63% of black respondents say it true. 77% of Hispanic respondents say that it's not true. So, I mean, that's not massive gaps, but this is a more white conspiracy theory than not. And again, I don't think that's gonna shock people considering how tied it is with like conservatism more broadly.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising to me, because I do really associate it with conservatism and, kind of extreme wing of a Republican Party, and the fact that, what's that, like 37% of black folks and 33, did I do my math wrong? 23% of Hispanic folks. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, considering what we usually see the breakdown of Democrat versus Republican or liberal versus conservative for folks of color. So some people of color are drinking that Kool-Aid too,
That's true. Now the area
Kool-Aid.
that's not gonna shock people. The Kool-Aid, that's good. Oh, we need a shirt for that. They're drinking that Kool-Aid. Brought to you by Quayless. So the thing that's not gonna shock people, except perhaps the severity of the effect, is that there's nothing that predicts QAnon belief more than party ID and vote, the expected vote. So 83% of Democrats say it has no basis in fact, 83%. 55% of independents. So look, there's a gap there. It's almost 30 points, but the majority of independents don't believe that it's true. Only 20% of Republicans say it has no basis in fact, 20%. And here's what's interesting. 3% of Democrats are like, oh no, it's true. All those Democrats are satanic pedophiles eating babies. What are you, sir? I'm a Democrat. What's wrong with you?
I mean, it's this real, like, just psychologically, I think it's this real just othering, right? What's happening here is that we've, not necessarily Democrats, but some Republicans, some conservatives, and some Democrats have othered, the other party so much that what's the worst thing in society these days? Well, it's a pedophile, and we'll throw in baby eating and Satan worshiping just for a little bit of extra topping. And so I really think what's going on is it's just this conspiracy about, and I don't know that it's on purpose, but the reason it's being believed is because it's often easy to believe really negative things about people that you think are the other, people that you think are against you, that type of stuff. So somebody says, hey, did you hear that Hillary Clinton, whom you hate, eats babies after her husband has her way with them? Well, then you're gonna say, oh yeah, that sounds like Hillary. I thought she was evil this whole time. So I think it's really just evidence of that, kind of the divide in the country of how much sort of negativity we can think about the opposing political party.
Yeah, I think that you're probably right. It's really, like, I've talked for a long time about get out of thinking free cards, that cognitive effort is difficult, having to reconcile, like weighing pros and cons is difficult. People don't want that. Life is hard, they don't want it. They want something that tells them, I don't have to think about this anymore. Like thinking like, I'm gonna support Biden even though I disagree with him on a lot of issues. Oh, that's hard. That's why a lot of grifters don't do it. That's difficult. People don't want that. What's the best get out of thinking free card? Accepting that everyone you hate rapes babies.
Yeah.
Because you never have to give them an inch. If you believe they eat child faces, you're done. You don't have to think about anything at that point. So in hindsight, it almost seems inevitable. At some point, human tribalism gets to they're all baby eaters phase. That's the best possible.
That's the evolution. Yeah, the other thing.
Evolution. It's from the monkey to a man to you're a pedophile.
Baby. It's awful. So the other thing that happens is, this allows any sort of villainy towards that group, right? It allows you to say, these folks are so evil, I can go shoot them, I can beat them up, I can, be rude to them, I can yell at them in the store for whatever reason, right? All of these different things that aren't really happening so much, but you at least see them sort of pop up on the internet about these different types of encounters that happen at rallies, et cetera. And it allows for that way of thinking about the other because you've made them into child molesters and Satanists. Yeah. And so now if I punch you in the face or shoot you, I just killed a pedophile. So, that's the way of thinking. So I don't know, it's pretty terrible, really.
Yeah, and it's not hypothetical. I mean, that Comet Pizza shooting happened. There have been other plots that have been foiled. There's been Q-related violence, and it's sad to see that as it's becoming a more common thing amongst conservatives, Republicans are just embracing it. Like they're openly embracing their QAnon supporting candidates. Trump is pretending that it's valid in some way in town halls. I don't know what it's gonna look like in 3 years. It might be official. It literally could be in the platform. I honestly don't know. Things have moved so fast this year. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.